New comments from Janet Yellen and a new update on the timeline of the passage of the next stimulus check. Welcome back everyone to your stimulus check and stimulus package update for today. And if you didn't catch the video I did earlier today, it was a video discussing the $600 stimulus check and what you should do if you have not received your check yet. That link will be down below in the description if you didn't see that video yet, but I do encourage watching this video first. So, what is the latest? Well, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is now speaking out once again. She's been quite vocal in discussions, not as instrumental as Steve Mnuchin was in stimulus negotiations, but she has been very vocal and has made several comments so far on the next stimulus package. And according to Nancy Pelosi, we have a new update on when the House could pass the stimulus package. So let's get started and dive right in. But before we do, as always, make sure that you are subscribed. Click that big red button. Also click the notification bell as well. That will actually notify you when I do post a brand new video. You're not going to miss a beat. The news is cycling now faster than ever. So you want to stay tuned and you're not going to miss any of my videos. Make sure you are subscribed. Also, if you have been enjoying my content, make sure that you do drop a big thumbs up on this video. I would appreciate that. Smash the like button. And let's get started. Let's get ahead. So yes, the Treasury Secretary under the Biden administration, Janet Yellen, is now emphasizing once again that it is absolutely incumbent, it is a necessity to pass a new stimulus package and to the size and scope that the Democrats are pushing for to get the economy back on track. And this is in a brand new CNBC interview. As per CNBC, she had said, quote, "We think it's very important to have a big package that addresses the pain that this has caused. 15 million Americans behind on their rent, 24 million adults, and 12 million children who don't have enough to eat. Small businesses failing." Now, this is also coming on the heels of the latest data, the latest reports that show that the economy as of 2021 is actually growing faster than expected and making a decent comeback. We discussed this new report in my last stimulus check update. She had also went on to say, quote, "I think the price of doing too little is much higher than the price of doing something big." And she had said, "We think that the benefits will far outweigh the costs in the longer run." Now, one of the bigger concerns that more fiscally conservative politicians have been raising is the risk of inflation, and the U.S. economy seeing massive inflation over the next few and several years. And as far as inflation, Janet Yellen is not worried. She had underscored the fact that inflation has been low for the past decade, and while it is still a risk, the Federal Reserve is in a place to cushion the blow. She said the greater risk is, quote, "of scarring the people, having this pandemic take a permanent lifelong toll on their lives and livelihoods." So yes, we did have better retail sales than expected because of the recent stimulus check payments, but the U.S. economy is not out of the woods just yet. We still have 10 million workers still out of jobs, and of course this is mostly due to the government-induced shutdowns that occurred over the last several months. Just recently on Thursday, February 18th, the U.S. Department of Labor reported another 861,000 jobless claims since last week. And if you recall, earlier in the month in one of these stimulus check updates that we did on this channel, Janet Yellen did say that more stimulus funds could help get U.S. employment back to full strength by 2022. And she said without a big stimulus package, the unemployment rate would likely take around 2025 to return to a pre-pandemic level. So the Treasury Secretary is a prominent advocate of Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus plan, the American Rescue Plan. She loves his stimulus package and believes that it should be passed in its exact form. Even after nearly $4 trillion in stimulus being passed last year under the Trump administration, she has rejected any calls that Biden's stimulus package is too big and that we cannot add another $1.9 trillion to the deficit. She highlighted this when she had said, quote, "We are digging out of a deep hole. Last year was the worst year for economic growth since World War II. And we have major developments surrounding the timeline of the next stimulus package, and more specifically when the House of Representatives can pass it. So, where do we stand right now with the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill? Well, we could soon know what the next economic stimulus bill will look like after the House Budget Committee meets on Monday to mark up the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Because Democrats are opting to use the budget reconciliation process in hopes of avoiding a Senate filibuster, a number of House committees have sent proposals to the Budget Committee. It will be up to the Budget Committee to put together its recommendation to the full Congress. The House will be holding votes next week with a day of legislative action added to the calendar for next Friday, February 26th. That could be the day when the House votes on the final bill to then go and send it to the Senate. As it stands right now, again, this will include $1,400 stimulus checks to Americans making up to $75,000 annually, and then it will phase out from there. Or couples making $150,000 annually will receive the full $2,800 payment, and their dependents will also receive the full $1,400 stimulus payment. There has been some pressure from more moderate centrist Democrats to lower those income thresholds. The Republicans have already submitted that proposal to Biden a few weeks ago, but that never made any progress. And despite that pressure, Biden is not throwing in the towel. He is still holding fast to those income thresholds. In the CNN town hall earlier this week, he had said, quote, "We can't spend too much. Now is the time we should be spending. Now is the time to go big." This was reiterated by White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, who had also emphasized that another economic relief package is necessary to help the economy. She had specifically said, quote, "I will say that most economists will tell you, and most economic data will show, that we are crawling out of a massive hole. And we're crawling out too slowly, and that what is essential to ensure that we put in, of course, stimulus into our economy to help expedite that." House Speaker Nancy Pelosi still expects a House vote by the end of the month in order to meet the deadline of unemployment benefits expiring on March 14th. She had said that she hopes for a vote, quote, "sometime at the end of next week." According to Nancy Pelosi, House leaders will stay in touch with the Senate about what Congress can include under the aid package under the budget reconciliation process. The current House bill in its current form also includes a $15 an hour national minimum wage hike by 2025. Now, that may or may not make it into the final bill once it is finalized, because that has to be approved by Senate parliamentarian. The Senate will then decide whether or not it complies with the budget reconciliation rules and the governance behind it, and we may or may not see it end up in the ultimate text. According to reports, the House Budget Committee on Monday will in fact combine these separate aid bills advanced by other panels into one massive piece of legislation. And according to House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, he has told lawmakers to prepare for work through the next weekend to pass the final bill. So they will not only be working during the week, but also throughout the weekend to make sure that this bill is in fact passed by the end of this month. What we're witnessing is a much more rapid, expedited process of this bill being transformed from proposal into legislation and then ultimately passed by both chambers of Congress. This is certainly a much faster process than we were seeing with the $900 billion stimulus package, which took weeks and months on end to negotiate. With Democrats controlling both chambers of Congress, this process is going to be a lot more easier, a lot more swift, and there's not going to be political tricks and obstruction and blockage by any Republicans. The reconciliation process will allow for an easy transaction. That is, of course, if the Senate agrees to all the provisions included in the bill. There may be some back and forth, there might be some slight amendments, but ultimately this bill will in fact pass both chambers of Congress, and the president does support his bill, of course, as well. We'll have a much clearer picture of what the House bill looks like once the House Budget Committee takes all the puzzle pieces and forms them into one gigantic bill, and that will give us a great idea of what we can expect the next stimulus package to look like. Just the next few days will be critical for stimulus, so you're not going to miss any updates. This is your one-stop shop for everything stimulus. All updates can be found on this channel. If you did enjoy this video, as always, make sure that you support the channel by dropping a big thumbs up on this video. Make sure that you are subscribed, click that big red button. Also click the notification bell as well. That will actually notify you when I do post a brand new video. And as always, if you'd like to get some free stocks, you don't have to wait for the government to get some free cash. Use my links down below in the description. When you sign with Robinhood and or Webull, you'll get some free stocks, some valued up to thousands of dollars in some cases, and you'll also get free stocks for referring your friends and family. So unlimited free stocks. Use my links down below in the description. Sign with Robinhood and or Webull, whichever one you like, or both. That's fine with me. I do look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.